What would you do if you believed that you could not fail? If you believed beyond a shadow of a doubt that this world, this universe was absolutely brimming with potential and possibility, and that all of that infinite potential was available to you? What would you do if you believed that all of that infinite potential resided within you, that you were God, a beautiful spark of consciousness, of universal source creator consciousness manifest in this reality for the sole mission of making your dreams and aspirations come true? What would you do if you believed that you were fully supported, that you had all the resources at your disposal, that there was no dream too big to be realized, that there were zero limitations, absolutely nothing standing in your way? What life would you live? Where would you go? How would life feel to you? These are some of the questions that this full moon at 2 degrees of Sagittarius is asking each and every single one of us. And in this video, I'm going to break down these energies for you and discuss the 3 most powerful themes of energy that we are dealing with during this full moon, so that you can navigate this full moon with the courage and the confidence, so that you can use these energies to their greatest potential to unlock your greatest potential. The first thing to know and understand as we're working with the energies of this full moon in Sagittarius is the fact that this full moon is occurring with the sun perfectly opposite, as it always is during a full moon, the moon at 2 degrees of Gemini. And the sun is in an out of sign conjunction with Jupiter and Venus conjunct at 29 degrees of Taurus. Those of you who follow astrology or who follow this channel know that we've been tracking these beautiful movements of Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus and the sun. And that conjunction of Venus and Jupiter is just one of many of these brilliant moments of activation that we have been experiencing as we've moved through this month. The fact that this activation at 29 degrees of Taurus is occurring during the full moon in Sagittarius is really, really big. This is amplifying that energy, which is already extremely amplified due to the fact that 29 degrees is known as an anaretic degree, meaning this is a make it or break it type of degree. This is the final degree of a sign where the energies are really crystallized, and there is a powerful lesson that we are meant to fully integrate, to fully understand, move within, bring within our consciousness. So when we're working with this 29 degree of Taurus point, we're working with the energies of self-love. We're working with the energies of self-worth. And this ties in directly to our ability to unlock our potential and our soul's blueprint in this lifetime. What we believe we are worthy of, what we believe we are capable of, determines what it is that we go after, what it is that we attempt to achieve. So there's going to be some powerful themes coming up for people related to abundance, related to their ability to tap into and unlock their personal abundance, and really manifest that in the world. This is calling into question any of those old belief systems that we still have, any of those old paradigms that we are still operating within, that are outdated, that are no longer relevant, that we are recognizing as not being true. And a lot of these belief systems, a lot of these old paradigms that we function under were created in this lifetime during our childhood. They were created during past lifetimes as well. And we've carried them over with us into this lifetime. And in this lifetime, we are finally ready to release them. We are finally ready to free ourselves from the shackles of these old ways of seeing and relating to the world, these old ways of essentially creating our reality, right? Because our perceptions and our belief systems are what create our reality. So as we finally shift out of this energy of lack, out of this energy of self-doubt, of self-doubt, it really is like self-dirt, right? Because it's this energy where we're just piling all of this nonsense that is not true on top of ourselves, right? So it's like the breaking free of that. It's actually kind of funny that I said that, because now I'm relating it to the Judgment card in the tarot, which shows all of these corpses essentially rising up out of their graves. It's a card of resurrection and a card of a call to action. So each and every single one of us is being resurrected in a certain sense, and we are being called to action. Our soul is calling us to action. It's going to really hammer this point in. Wherever it is that we have these residual energies of self-doubt, of insecurity, of not feeling worthy, that is going to be brought to the surface, so that those energies can be cleared out once and for all. This beautiful energy of Venus and Jupiter here. Jupiter is expanding. Jupiter is bringing in all of those beautiful, loving energies. And Venus, being the planet of love, is just eating them up. So there is, even though the energies that are presenting themselves may be quite challenging, they may be quite painful, this energy is like a beautiful healing balm. If we allow ourselves to accept it, to be receptive to it. There's a powerful energy here, a powerful need to be able to be open to receive. And that is why, as we've moved through the month of May, we've had all of these energies really opening up and unlocking the heart chakra. We talked about the aurora borealis and those beautiful energies that were streaming in from those coronal mass ejections from the sun that allowed us to see the aurora, that allowed the Earth's heart chakra to open up wide, and each in our heart chakras with her. And I'll link that video at the end of this one for those who have not seen it yet. We've been working in so many different ways with this beautiful heart opening energy. We actually are experiencing this full moon on the final day of the Pleiadian portal, which was going to be the third thing that I was going to tell you, but I guess we're talking about it right now. Right? And the Pleiadian portal is a portal of love. I'll link that video at the end of this one for you all as well. It is where this beautiful energy of the Pleiadians is able to assist us in integrating and unlocking and activating the wisdom of the heart and taking everything from the mind into the heart and being able to act upon the truth within our hearts, being able to identify it and being able to act upon it. So this is really, really beautiful, powerful stuff, and a really powerful date, 52324, to be able to bring this all together. And understand that this doesn't mean that like we have to have this all figured out on the 23rd during the full moon. These energies and these awarenesses are being brought into our consciousness, and we're going to continue to integrate them and move through them. This is like the energetic point of access. But how that energy, how that transpires and how that integrates and how we move through these energies individually is going to be, well, very individual. And it's going to take the time that it takes. So just, this is the opening. And then everything that comes after that in the perfect divine timing for each and every single one of us. So I never want people to hear these videos and feel pressure like, oh my God, I don't think I'm there yet. Oh my God, there's this opportunity for healing and I'm not ready, right? I still have way too much stuff coming up and I don't feel like I'm going to be able to resolve it all during the full moon. That's okay. You're not supposed to. It's an ongoing process, an ongoing evolution. It is a journey. Ascension is a journey, not an event. We talk a lot about the great solar flash. And so I think a lot of people think of ascension as a singular event, but it's not. It's a gradual process of unfolding and awakening, right? Of blossoming. And we all blossom. Every flower blossoms in its own time, in its own season, in its own space. So know that and remember that and see yourself as a beautiful, unique flower that is blossoming at the exact right pace for you. And simply allow this journey to unfold. Allow what is coming forward to come forward. View it with as much acceptance, love, and compassion as you possibly can. And just continue to move from there. That's all this energy is asking of us. The more receptive we can be, the more open and willing we can be. If we are open and willing, that's really all that's ever asked of us. And to be open and willing to the extent that we are capable, that we are able. And if you need extra assistance, being open and receptive and vulnerable, call upon the Pleiadians. the beautiful benevolent Pleiadians, they are here to assist us at this time. Another beautiful thing that we are experiencing during this full moon in Sagittarius is two mystic triangles occurring between the sun, the moon, and Pluto, and the sun, the moon, and Neptune. And this is, in astrology speak, when we have a trine and a sextile going on, as well as an opposition. What that means essentially is there's a point of tension, the sun and the moon, right? But there's a beautiful symbiotic relationship, an integration point, an assistance with the integration. And in this case, that assistance is coming from both Neptune and Pluto, which is really beautiful because these are two planets who represent higher aspects of ourselves. They are collective planets. Neptune separates the known universe from the unknown universe. It represents our higher self and that higher collective consciousness, that soul consciousness. And Pluto represents our personal underworld, as well as the evolutionary underpinnings and desires of our soul. So there's a powerful point of alchemy here with Pluto in the mix, as well as Neptune, known also as the Great Dissolver. And something that came through surrounding this was Pluto and Neptune here are assisting us in accepting what is, dissolving attachment to what was, so that we can embrace what will be. Isn't that beautiful? Accepting what is, releasing attachment to what was, so that we can embrace what can and will be. So allow for this process to occur. Allow Neptune to dissolve that attachment, that resistance to letting go, to dissolve those fears with that beautiful unconditional love of source, love, light, energy, and your higher self, and allow Pluto to come in and alchemize that energy, to transmute that energy, that fear. Pluto will take us into our darkness, but so that we can integrate it with our light. This is an opportunity for soul gifts and abilities to really be channeled through powerfully. We can expect major activations of our gifts and abilities, especially those that are most relevant to us and where we are now as we continue to move forward, so that we can move forward along the path of our Dharma, so that we can show up in loving empowerment for whatever is next along our soul's journey, whatever part of our soul's mission, blueprint, desire, design for this lifetime is ready to be activated and embraced and experienced. Really, really beautiful stuff, you guys. One of the analogies that I was given for this full moon in Sagittarius was the analogy of a pair of glasses or sunglasses. And the idea was that these glasses have been worn for quite some time. At this point, they've got all kinds of smudges all over them. They've got cracks in them. They've got dirt and debris that have sort of crusted onto them. And so this full moon in Sagittarius is giving us the opportunity to take off those old glasses, encrusted with all of those old paradigms and belief systems, all of those old fears, all of the stuff that's held us back, that has colored our perception, that has made it difficult to see reality, right? Difficult to see the truth of our beauty and potential. And we're being handed a brand new pair of glasses. As we move through this energy, that sun in Gemini is collecting all the new information, all the new perspectives. And then the moon in Sagittarius is assisting us in integrating that and creating new belief structures. Those new belief structures in this analogy being the new glasses. So go ahead and put those new glasses on. Walk around and notice how much clearer your vision is. And it may take some time to adjust. I can really piggyback off of this analogy here because I wear very, very strong contacts. All right. And my glasses, the thickness of my glasses is unbelievable. I have people put them on sometimes just to mess with them, and they almost fall over because they can't see anything. Everything is so jumbled. And that is really like the vision that a lot of us have been walking around with. Right? Like we've been wearing the wrong pair of glasses. That's the way to put it on. We've been wearing somebody else's glasses, the belief structures and opinions of other people. So no wonder we've been stumbling around. Now we're being given a pair of glasses that is our prescription, that are made specifically for us. And it's going to be that much easier to see the world around us. But for me personally, when I went from wearing, I'll use this analogy, I guess. When I get an upgraded pair of glasses and I put them on, it takes a little while to get used to them because everything looks clearer. Sometimes everything looks kind of tilted. It just looks strange for a little bit, Mo. My eyes are getting used to the new glasses. And so for some of us, it may feel like that. As we are allowing these old paradigms and belief structures to melt away, these old stories, ways of seeing ourselves in the world, the new glasses are going to feel strange. The world is going to look odd. It's going to look off. We're not going to be sure if we can trust what we see. Just go with it. Allow yourself to get used to it. It's another analogy I'm being given is like breaking in a new pair of shoes. All right, that's what it's going to be like for a little bit. And we're going to want to run back to and cling to some of those old belief systems sometimes because we're so comfortable in them. And that's okay, but we want to notice when we're doing that. And we want to notice, does this truly resonate for me anymore? Does this feel like my truth? And what is the reality or the experience that's being mirrored back to me by the world when I put on those old glasses again? When I reach for one of those old perspectives? Does the world respond to me differently? And can I switch that back up again and see how differently the world responds to me? All right, we see what we expect. I've used this quote, I think, quite frequently recently. The quote of like, if you perceive the world as cold and uncaring, your experience of the world will be cold and uncaring. If you perceive the world as full of love and compassion and possibility, then that's what you're going to experience. So play around with that a little bit if you need to. If you feel being called, it's just like anything we talk about in healing all the time when we talk about actual habits and old coping mechanisms that we put down and then we pick back up and we feel that they don't really resonate. They don't do the same thing for us anymore. It's going to be the same with these belief systems because many of them were coping mechanisms. They were coping mechanisms of the ego. So we're going to notice when we try them back on again that they don't fit quite the same. They're not working for us. They're not serving us in the way that they used to. And sometimes we need to try them back on in order to see that. This is once again just allowing ourselves to be accepting of where we are in our own unique processes. And knowing that just like the bow, right, using the energy of Sagittarius, which is the archer, right? In order to shoot the arrow, you first have to draw back the bow. And then the arrow flies forward. All right? So in this analogy, we are both the bow and the arrow. Sometimes we have to take a couple steps back in order to launch ourselves forward. So don't be hard on yourself if you find yourself in that place. Sometimes when we're unearthing a deeper layer of these negative belief systems, it feels like we're moving backwards, but we're really just moving deeper into it so that we can move through it, beyond it, right? Because the only way out is through. I love you all so much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoy this full moon. Allow it to ignite within you that spark of possibility, that spark of hope, and grow that hope into faith, right? Because faith and hope. I think we talked about this in another video. This analogy of how hope is like this idea that something might be better, that something might be true, where faith is the knowing that it is, the commitment to the fact that it is. All right, so we're moving from this sense of like hoping that we're good enough to knowing that we're good enough, hoping that the universe is loving and infinite and full of potential, and knowing that the universe is infinite and full of potential, and that we, as a spark of the universe, are therefore also full of possibility and potential. That potential is lying dormant, just waiting to be ignited. And this full moon is all about igniting it. This is fire that we are working with Sagittarius. This is mutable fire. So this is the spark, right? That ignites that fire within each and every single one of us. And for some of us, it may feel like a huge blast. For some of us, it's going to be a gentle, smoldering flame that grows as we nurture it. by nurturing these new perspectives, these new belief systems, by nurturing that hope until it turns into faith. And I have faith in each and every single one of us that we will get there. But in the meantime, Sagittarius energy is reminding us to enjoy the journey, to explore, to expand. If we're always focused on getting where we're going, we're never going to notice where we are, and we're not going to have the enjoyment of being able to remember where we've been and gain the wisdom garnered through remembering where we've been. We don't ever want to stay stuck in the past, but we want to remember, especially the good times, the good moments. We don't want to be so serious and so focused on getting ahead, on healing, right? That we miss all the little moments that make this life worth living. The future is a projected point in space, right? The past is a memory. The only thing that really exists is this moment. So if we can't be present in this moment, we miss everything. We miss the entire journey, the entire experience, the entire reason that we came here. And as we've said in other videos as well, being anchored in the now, being present in this moment is the only time that we exist within the organic matrix, right? So be here now. This was one of the themes of Taurus season that we talked about in the 3 themes of Taurus season video. When this moon occurs, it's going to be at Gemini season, right? But this energy still applies. Have fun. Embrace the journey because you are worth it. All right. I love you all very much. If you have not yet, go ahead and hit that like button. If you are new to the channel and you enjoyed this content, go ahead and subscribe, join the tribe. We would love to have you as a part of this beautiful community that we are creating here. If you are drawn to do any one-on-one work with me, all of the information to do so is in the description box below. Drop a comment. Let me know how you're feeling these energies. As always, I'll talk to you soon.